Hey YouTube, today we're taking a look at the LEGO Staff Christmas gift of 2021. Hey everyone and welcome to Brick Talk TV, hope you're well. Today's episode is a special one. We're going to be taking a look at my third LEGO Christmas set on this channel, but this is the first one that I've actually been given to me by LEGO as an employee. Before we take a closer look, do hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and hit that subscribe button with the bell notification turned on to join our LEGO community. So this is the annual LEGO Staff Christmas gift released in December 2021 to all staff and not to the general public. It was released under set number 4002021 and the set consists of 1,320 pieces which are spread over 6 bags inside the set. This is one of the larger Christmas set gifts by a piece count. And it's the first set that I've opened that includes paper bags. I did do a live stream of this build where you can see the set being opened and all the stages of the build experience, and I'll put a card up in the top right here and a link in the description below if you want to see how it all comes together. This set does include an impressive minifigure count with a massive 12 figures. So let's walk through each of the minifigures, of which we have 6 golden ninjas. First up is Master Wu. He is gold in colour, sporting a 6th length rod and positioned here in a whirlwind type cup. Taking him out of the cup, you can see more detail, and he's printed on the front torso and front legs. He sports his usual white beard and has one face print on the front. Around the back you can see the torso print is continued, but there's no print on the legs. On the rear of his head you'll also notice there's a white ponytail. Finally, he's sporting his usual hat. Next up we have Misako. She is sporting a green jumper printed front and back with olive coloured legs and a long grey hairpiece and features just one face print. Now I think the next character is Scales Jr. He has a moulded head, comes in this navy colour. He's sporting a scarf accessory and has a teddy bear in his hand, which is a present that he's received under the Christmas tree. He's sporting a plain but short minifigure children's legs and has a printed torso on the front and back. We also have Scales Sr. in the set. He sports the same moulded head and printed torso design, but also comes with an adult sized legs, and there's a mini build of a sort of sword sleigh which he's riding, and he can have fun with Scales Jr. Now we have Golden Ninja in the form of Lloyd. First off you'll notice a 1x1 round plate in his hand. This is supposed to be a snowball, and you can have him playing in the snow fight out the front. He has a printed torso and legs on the front and sporting a sword and sword holder accessory on his back, and underneath is more print. On his head he has 2 printed facial expressions, one with a grin and the other with a less happy looking face, and he's finally topped off with his distinctive blonde hair and bandana. Next up we have a golden coal minifigure. He's wearing a helmet here and he's complete with a hammer weapon. His torso and legs are printed on front, as is his torso on the rear. Removing the helmet we can see he has 2 printed faces, one smirking and the other looking rather unhappy. Our next minifigure is Zane, seen here in a sporting pose on his skis. He has a sword on his back and is sporting an ice inspired helmet. Printed on the front and back, when you remove his helmet again you can see 2 facial expressions, one happy and one less so. Here we have Jay sporting his blue helmet with 2 swords. He has print on his front torso and legs, and when you remove the helmet you see a smirking face and on the rear a disgruntled looking face. Kai is up next, sporting a gold helmet with a red stripe. He continues the red colouring on his front torso and legs, and round the back he's printed again on the torso and has a single sword. Removing the helmet we'll see a smiling face with a small plaster on the front, and on the rear he looks rather angry and still has a plaster printed above his left eye. Our final golden ninja, Naya, she doesn't have a helmet but a hairpiece like Lloyd. Complete with 2 swords, she has a printed torso on the front and back and some print on the front of her legs. Removing the hairpiece you can see 2 printed faces again. At the front we have a happy face that is obscured by a mask on her face, and around the back you can see a more angry face again. Here we have the rather in-depth mini build in this set, which features a minifigure of Santa Garmadon positioned on a sleigh with presents. The sleigh is a nice little build and is an alternative approach to building a smaller scale sleigh. The detail is good and the use of Ninjago pieces and vines really add some lovely detail. The sleigh is also being pulled by this impressive dragon, using blades used in the Nutcracker Christmas set for the wings, and the build allows various articulations via some ball and socket joint connections in the legs of the dragon. It certainly stands out in this set and it does take a lot of display space up, as you can see here. Another mini build in this set, and one which you can swap out for the table in the set, is this Christmas tree. There is an interesting technique in this build, and this tree uses a standard Lego tree leaf piece and has a central column of 1x1s with various studs on the side which allow you to use Technic claws to clip the leaves 1x1 into different various positions, and it's finished off with various balls for balls and ninja stars for decoration, including the tree topper. Like with most Christmas sets, you also get to build various brick built presents. There are some nice red and blue presents in this set which uses a new technique for me. Again, check out the live stream for how these ones were constructed. So here you can see our main attraction, the Temple of Celebration. Here you can see the outside snow area and the 4 levels that make up the temple. We also have the tree positioned on the side, which can be swapped out for a table, and I'll show you that later in the video. But for now, let's start taking a closer look at the temple in more detail. Taking a look at the ground level at the front, I really love the detail of the snowy area here, and the snowman build for me was one of the set highlights. I love the technique used here and the little details that have been added on the snowman. You have various snow drifts around the outside of the temple as well, and it's built into a mountain face, giving you some big ugly rock pieces in the set. To the left you also build a 4x4 circle area which does allow you to position Master Wu, as you can see here. Centrally you have a set of steps that lead up to the entrance of the temple, and either side we have some cool techniques used to make the walls and details, including using some fence pieces to create some of the detailed windows. Above those windows we have some cleverly detailed roof constructions with lamps and icicles hanging down using unicorn horns, and around that we have a veranda to position various minifigures in any position that you wish. And to keep maintaining the Christmas theme throughout, we have some nice dark green Christmas wreaths hanging from the veranda. The next level above uses a similar technique for the colouring of the walls, but also uses more detailed windows positioned on their side. There is no outside walking area this time though, but there is a continuation of the icicles and some lamps hanging from the roof. At the top level we have a central window or opening that uses a modified hat piece in the centre. The roof has tons of lovely architectural detail, and there's a nice antenna at the roof which is quite typical of Ninjago buildings. Now if we spin the set around and take a look at the inside of the set from the top to the bottom, at the top here you can see a nice brick built blue present. Next to that is Master Wu's statue. You can also notice the pillars used here either side of the wall, and these are held up by a 1x1 plate with a clip on, and usually these are cannons or weapons that are used, so this is an interesting technique to get those red columns. Moving down to the next level you can see some brick built furniture. It's a bit of a standard approach to building a set of cupboards using 1x3 jumper tiles here, and on top you can also see another brick built present in white and gold. On the next floor you can see a bit more detail here, and there are 2 telescope pieces of reddish brown used to give us some pillars centrally. Then as you move over you can see some brick built tables, and another highlight for me in this build was found in this level, and you can see to the right of the tables a micro build of Ninjago City Gardens, the set that was released earlier in 2021. This did take me a few moments during the build to actually realise what it was, even though I was sat right next to Ninjago City Gardens full scale in my Lego room. But when I realised what it was a great surprise for me, and I think they've done a really great technique here. As we move to the final level on the ground floor, this is all set up a bit like a kitchen or a big eating area. In the corner behind the central table there is a fireplace, and either side of that we have 2 golden modified hats, again which add some interesting detail onto the walls. The central table here has 8 seats around it, so you have enough for quite a lot of the minifigures that are included in this set, which allows you to create a great Christmas scene here. The table is a brick built table with various food pieces that are shown on top to give an illusion of a feast going on. This is held loosely in place by some jumper tiles, so you can swap this out for the Christmas tree and the presents, which gives you 2 display options for this set, as you can see here. So overall this was an interesting set, and as my first official set as an employee of LEGO, it was quite a special one for me. In the context of other Christmas sets, I don't think this one has been the best that I've built, and I think I prefer the 2017 Nutcracker set over this one. And do check out a link in the top right to see a review of that set and actually a live build recently done on the channel. For Ninjago fans though, this is definitely going to be up there with one of the desirable sets, as it does feature golden ninjas which are quite desirable. You can also pick this up on eBay and Bricklink, but it will cost you quite a lot, but for me I probably wouldn't be worth it unless you're a real Ninjago fan or a real Lego investor, as I'm sure that this set will increase in price over years to come. If you found this video useful, do hit that like button as always, so more people get to see the video, and hit that subscribe button to join our Lego community, and turn that bell notification on to be kept up to date when new videos drop on our channel. And until next time, stay safe and I'll see you then.